Hey folks, it's Shailesh Manjrekar here at Cloud Fabrix or Fabrix.ai. And today I wanted to show a small demo about our agentic platform and how it caters to some of the existing frameworks like ITIL and SSCM, which stands for Services Asset Configuration Management. So let's begin. So changing role of ITIL and SSCM practices in the agentic era and how our platform is primarily going to help you with these changing dynamics. So if you recently heard Jensen Wong talking about, hey, every IT department in a company is going to be the HR department. And what he means by that is the pervasive use of AI agents across the companies. And the IT department is soon going to be responsible for primarily being able to onboard these agents, look at their performance, do a performance evaluation for these agents, ensure that they're not acting rogue, and at certain times and period, be able to retire those AI agents as well. Okay, so it's very similar to how an HR department operates with human employees. So ITIL and SSCM are very popular practices, as you probably are aware of. ITIL stands for IT Infrastructure Library, and SSCM stands for Services Asset Configuration Management. With the advent of agentic and AI era, a lot of these things have changed, right? So with AI-driven automation, ITL practices such as incident management, change management, are changing drastically and significantly. The AI agents now proactively monitor environments, detect anomalies, categorize tickets, and to a larger extent, even being able to resolve the issues without human intervention. So gone are the days for rule-based automation, right? Similarly, changes happening in the service desk transformation, as well as self-filling IT service management and data-driven decision making. And in this environment, what are the new practices evolving, just like we had AI ops in the traditional ITIL and SSCM environment, how AgentOps, this new concept around AgentOps is kind of rising to meet these challenges and provide some frameworks around it. So what is Fabrix's agentic AI platform doing around SSCM? So our platform provides you essentially real-time automated discovery. It enables you reconciliation of assets and configuration, continuously maps actual and desired state, and seamlessly integrates with the existing observability and ITSM platforms, enabling full service ownership, compliance tracking, and automated operations. Okay. So this is our platform. You probably have seen this before. We launched the platform actually beginning of this year. And you can see it has access to several different data platforms. It has access to LLM tools. It has obviously access to your environment and data centers, and also has access to ITSM tools, ChatOps tools, and so on and so forth. Okay. Primarily, kind of framework which is operationalizes this platform is what we call AgentOps, also called as Agentic Ops. And here you can see there are a number of steps you would want to leverage to really cater to this use case of SSCM. So first and foremost, you got to have the user prompt in mind, right? And you got to have the right persona who would be executing this user prompt. So that persona needs to have access to a certain MCP tools. It has to have access to certain prompt templates which are needed for kind of responding to this particular prompt. You also need to have guardrails to ensure that the prompt and the AI persona are not acting roguely. Okay. And then finally, with the Copilot, you'd be able to test a number of different questions catering to the SSCM and ITIL use case. And once you have tested it to your satisfaction, you are now in a scenario where you are able to now create an agent which can be scheduled to kind of come up periodically and check lab environments and compliance and so on and so forth. And then you get into a life cycle management process for these agents where you want to evaluate their performance, you want to be able to observe them, and you ought to be able to, um, basically retire them as and when needed. Okay. So with that, this is the prompt template I use. Can you create a prompt template for me for a good SSCM configuration management solution, which provides me real-time discovery, provides me reconciliation, provides me conciliation between actual state and desired state, right? And use all the MCP tools available, right? And based on this, the platform itself actually created this prompt template for me, which can cater to use cases like device network validation, compromised server, service dependency mapping, asset ownership, and so on. And these are the tool sets it actually leveraged under the hood, which are provided by our platform, primarily for asset intelligence, for operations and security, for configuration management, and inventory and analytics. Okay. And it has created for a particular device, it has created this a very comprehensive report all the way across 5 or 6 different dimensions, where it talks about asset identification and validation, device location and ownership. Third one is security monitoring coverage. Fourth one is configuration compliance status, application mapping assessment, ownership and responsibility metrics. So it kind of evaluates that particular asset across a asset or a number of assets across this 6 or 7 dimensions, right? And then provides you actionable recommendations. So you can see how powerful this can be in the context of ITIL, right? Leveraging agentic approaches and AI agents. Okay. You can see the assessment summary here, right? Service mapping needs improvement. Okay. So with that, let me jump into the demo and I'll showcase you how this is actually done on our platform. Okay. So the first thing you would want to do is, so this is our platform. I've logged into this in the interest of time. So first thing you'd want to go and look at is the AI administration. And as I said, hey, is there a right persona which is existing? So in this case, I have persona by the name of SSCM analyst. So this persona, I've already created this. And if you see this persona, the description of this is configuration management use cases, right? It has access to particular LLMs. Out of the list of LLMs, it is configured to use certain guardrails. And more importantly, it is configured to use the right MCP tools and the prompt templates. Okay. So the next thing I'd want to see is, hey, what does this prompt template look like, right? So I go to MCP and I look, hey, is there a prompt template and what is it comprising of, right? So you can see there's a prompt template for SSCM and as well as security logs. Okay. And I'm going to look at the prompt template and see there are 4 major steps which it is asking the LLM to basically execute on: asset discovery and validation, application and service mapping, configuration and compliance analysis, and security and monitoring, right? So it is providing is some determinism to that LLM to ensure that there is no hallucination and so on and so forth. Okay. Also tells it how to handle errors and fallbacks, right? And so on and so forth. So now I am more or less ready to actually execute my prompts, and I'm going to go to my Copilot and I'm going to invoke a conversation which I have already executed a little time before in the interest of time. But you can see this is my persona, the SSCM analyst, which I created. These are the tools which are available for me, all right, across different domains: prompt management, agent admin. There are some common tools. There are AIOps tool, inventory tools, Splunk tools, SNMP trap, asset intelligence, syslog tools, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to run a bunch of prompts here. You can see I have already run some of these prompts. So let's start from a logical sequence. What I'm doing first is, can you create an inventory report for me and visualize this in asset intelligence, right? For all the assets available in this particular environment. Okay. So it has created me an asset intelligence inventory report where you can see these are the facilities, there are these many data centers. Okay. And it has created this very detailed report around the devices, what's the security monitoring coverage status, okay, what's the configuration management. And as you can see, there are some events which have been generated here, right? Can you create a nice dashboard showcasing me, right? So it's basically creating a nice dashboard for me, okay, where you can see one of the things where I got dinged is the ability to not have syslog coverage. So you can see there are 5 devices which are doing SNMP monitoring. So the next thing I ask is, hey, does this device belong on our network, right? And this is the IP address of that network. And it has provided me a very comprehensive asset validation report. You can say, yes, indeed, this device belongs to our network. This is the kind of model for this device. This is the OS running on this. These are the serial numbers, okay, and so on. Next ask is, hey, who owns this asset, right? And it was telling me, hey, this asset is actually, this is the ownership information for this asset. You can see the host name, you can see the device type, and these are the users who have owned this asset in the past. Okay, you can see the organizational structure of the people who have actually, owned this device. Okay, then I ask is, hey, where is this device located on the network? And it actually gives me a comprehensive report for asset location analysis. Okay. Further down, I'm asking it, okay, well, now you have satisfied most of my queries. Now, can you create an agent from the above conversation? Okay. And this is where it's actually going to auto create this agent for me. Okay. And it is going to tell me, hey, these are the components for that agent node, right? This is the evaluation agent as part of that agentic workflow. These are the supported use case, and you can launch this agent, right? And I can launch this agent. You can see it drag and drop, right? And I can modify it if I want to. You can see the prompt which being used, the LLM which has been used, and so on and so forth. Okay. And then I can run this from here itself, right? I am not going to run it because I already have run this before. Okay, and you can see this. If I go to my agent administration, there is this agent which has been created for SSCM based on that workflow, right? So asset intelligence agent created by me, and then I can run here, I can observe it, and so on and so forth. Okay. So going back to my slide deck, right? So this kind of shows you the power of AgentOps and how we are operationalizing our platform for an SSCM and ITIL use case, right? So we created a prompt, we assigned that prompt, ran it through by creating an AI persona. We ensured that there were right MCP tools and prompt templates available for this particular prompt. We defined the guardrails. We did the testing using the Copilot and then created an agent out of that. And then the agent is now going through his life cycle. So you can see how powerful this agentic approach is, and hope you enjoyed and it allowed to demonstrate the capabilities and the enterprise readiness of your platform. Okay, of our platform. Thanks for watching and talk soon.